So hello and welcome back. And it's not been very long, but here I am again. I'm a little bit wet because I was just caught in a rainstorm. The weather's still pretty variable, but now the roof's done, not too worried about that. I'm just getting the quad started up. I'm going to head down, empty the rest of the tiles out, and then I'm going to bring the trailer up here and see if I can squeeze it and the car there, and then put my chute down. So let's get cracking. Okay, so down at the neighbours where I stored the trailer with the tiles in it, I've taken out the last. There were only about 14-15 tiles, too many. So that was pretty good. I'm sure they'll come in handy fixing other bits. I've got the trailer, not the nice trailer back there, just my little tiny trailer here, hitched up on the back of the quad, and we'll see if we can tow it up through the village. We are, so once again, everything looks so tiny, but then it sort of works. So that Golf fits. Let me show you how well it fits. So that's not touching, and that's not touching because it's a convertible. I can climb out. So all I really want to do is to be able to have the trailer there, fill the trailer with soot, and then jack it up on its jockey wheel and hook it onto the back of the Golf, and that will work. And then from there I can just take it down to town, empty it, come back and do exactly the same thing again. So I can't leave it there forever. I think small cars would get round, but if anyone bigger tries to come up or down, then I'm blocking the road, so I can't leave it there the whole time with the trailer hooked on, because the trailer doesn't go any further back than that. So I could go, oh, you see, maybe another 6 inches, but that's not going to be enough. So that's just done exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm going to go and park the Golf back up now, and then I'm going to empty the rest of the stuff out of the trailer, the broken tiles that come free with the good tiles, and then we'll see if we can get a rubbish chute set up and hung up. I've not used it before, so be interesting to see how that works. Okay, well, it's kind of set up. Let's see if it works. I'm not too sure if it will, but well, there's only one way to find out. Okay, well, it goes in the top, but it does not come out of the bottom, and that's because it's twisted somehow. So I'm not getting the whole thing set up. I think I need to move this strap or put another strap there that kind of pulls it round. So I'll see what I can find, see how we get on there. Okay, well, with a proper lorry strap on, my elastics are all shot for some reason, UV probably. But that's on, and everything's come out of the bottom now, so head back up and pour some more in. As you can see, more raindrops where there is, I mean, it's June, for crying out loud. So anyway, I'm just going to keep tipping some in there, but I think the other problem I have is that I've twisted it, and if I had it straight, so this line here further right and one further round, then it would work better. So in fact I might just undo my strapping and move it, shift it all one round, and then give that a shot quickly while it's raining anyway. There we go, that looks a million times better because it's straight. So head back up and see if that works better, because this is going to be one of my big tools for the next few weeks. Okay, so it's time to go down to the bottom again and unblock it. I think that's because it's just stacked up on the trailer. But this is also a terrible angle. Most will come out of this window here. And that's a much straighter line, and I'll be able to fix it better. It's sort of, it's not great. But, well, it is what it is. And it's better than the alternative, although a real rubbish chute I looked at, they're just phenomenally expensive. So this was a cheap and cheerful, and it'll work even if it's 10% more time. It's 90% less money, so makes sense in the end. And in fact, just a quick shake from up here, got everything dislodged. It's just that big bit apparently. So yeah, still plenty more to send down. We're going to get the broom. I sort of want to get this terrace halfway usable again. I'm going to take down the scaffold too in a minute and put that away. Get everything off the roof of that. I don't know if I'll take it down today or this week or this summer, or if I'll start inside. There's a fair amount that's come down inside as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, well there you go. As you can see, 10 minutes flat. I need to undo it there because it's still attached to the wall, and then it'll be down, and we can get on with tidying up. But it is now raining properly, so I'm going to go inside and have my lunch break. Okay, well, with the scaffold down, you can see the wall and the end of the roof. I still have actually 4 screws to go in there and trim that bit of underlay down, because I couldn't get to it because I don't want to stand on this. And this is exactly what I'm thinking about now. So this is a loo. I have the planning permission for it. It was built in the 50s. It's falling to pieces. It's an eyesore, and I don't really want an outdoor loo. I mean, it was useful when I first got here, and as it was the only loo in the house, but now there are a couple inside and there will be more. So it's going to come down, and I'm just playing with the idea of taking it down right now. So it has water, so let me show you what it looks like. Obviously it's not really much worth saving here. Water's there, there's a stopcock, but that only stops the loo bit, not that tap. Water comes in here. See it there, that's the water pipe. So I just need to follow it back and see where to stop it, because there is water on this side too, here in this sink there, and I want to keep that because the washing machine's plumbed into that for now. Obviously it'll all go in the end. I'm going to have a look underneath and see if I can find out if there is a stop for the outside bit. Okay, well, let's see what's under here. We've got some bits of pipe, plate, label, these are some sort of knobs, nice old corkscrew, oops, sorry, some newspaper from, let's see on this spot, 1986. And then down here, 91 bottles, some sort of spray, and a stopcock. So I'm going to turn it, see what happens. Okay, well, I've closed it. Still have water here. Let's see if we have any water here. Unfortunately, yes. Okay, back to the drawing board. Well, every once in a while you regret doing something, and then it's leaking. So I'm going to have to cap it somewhere and see what I can do about that. Okay, well, I've taken out the shelf, so I have better access now to this, and I've turned off the water. This is lead piping. We had a Cluedo. It's only the wastewater, thankfully, and it only just goes out of the wall. But there we go. So I'm now going to try and take this to pieces, see what we have, and then I'll probably have to go and find a tap. I don't know if I've got one here. But then the water would then stop here, and I could take down that toilet quite easily. Well, I was just trying to cut it, and it seems to be peeing on me, which is peculiar because there shouldn't be any pressure in it at all if it's connected to this tap up here, which I've turned off. I've turned off the main, so maybe I have free water here, which would be interesting. But unfortunately, I'm just getting wet at the moment, which is a bit of a pain. Still, I'm sure it'll stop any second now. Okay, well, I cut through the pipe. It did eventually stop seeping, and I'm left with this, which is going to require some cleaning up. It's not water I would drink out of. This pipe comes from the water meter, and at the water meter I left this, and I put a T in and put everything else in the house that runs through this multi-layer modern pipe, because I wanted just to leave that loo initially when I started doing the plumbing, and now I'm just going to basically for now leave a tap here. In fact, the tap that is there, I'm going to move down here for the washing machine, and that's it. And then I'm going to go and knock down the loo. This, just for info, is what was inside the stopcock. That's the rubber seal. So that's obviously why that didn't work, because a large chunk of it is missing. Okay, well, €7 and half an hour later I'm back. I've got a flexi pipe in 3/8, a female to female, that'll go on there. And I've still got my tap and some Teflon. So Teflon around the end, then the female to female, Teflon around this, right into there, and then the tap in at the end, and that should work perfectly. Let's find out. Still Fortunately raining. So yeah, still, we've got plenty done today. And there we go. It's not pretty, but it should work. I'm going to go and turn the water on, and then we'll see if it leaks or not. And hopefully it doesn't, and if it doesn't, then that's it. I mean, it's really only just to run the washing machine and obviously water for pouring cement and what have you, until I start getting new pipes over the other side for the kitchen. So I'm going to head downstairs and turn the water back on at the meter. Okay, so water's back on. Looks pretty good, I think. You get a light in there, but yeah, it looks okay. Oh, excellent. Yes, that is watertight, and it should mean that there is now no water here. So we can knock this down. You can see, water's been coming in. It's basically a waste of space, and probably becoming dangerous. So yeah. Okay, I've got a little bit more tidying up and preparing to do. I'm going to take this off the wall because the last thing I want to do is break a mirror. And then probably be early tomorrow morning by the time I get this really started. Well, the sink just pulled off, and these tiles are held on with love by the looks of things. So there's the sink, and straight down into the trailer. Keep it curly. So there we go. Yeah, I'll just get everything set up, and then it'll be shower time. So this all, I don't think it'll take long to take down. I want to kind of follow that line there and see if that wall, which isn't anywhere near as thick as the proper wall. Let's see if we can see around the back what it's made of. Made of crappy bricks. So, well, hopefully it'll hold there. Otherwise, I'll have to rebuild it immediately. Stop the kids falling down. But yeah. I'll see if I can pull the toilet out by hand. See how wobbly it is. Yep, I can. I'm going to have to fill that hole, obviously. But that's the loo, and this obviously not much holding it in place either. So yeah, get everything set up, and then tomorrow morning we'll get the big hammer out. Okay, well, now that I've got the loo and everything out, I'm much too excited to wait until tomorrow. So I'm going to go and get the big hammer and give it a hit, see what happens. Well, it's pretty solid stuff. It's quite hard work. These are pretty hefty bricks and a lot of cement for a loo. I guess it's been there since the 50s. I'm trying to not drop too much on the neighbour's bit of ground over there. put it in here. But yeah, no, I mean, it's coming down. There's a little bit there that's still tied into the wall. I'll have to get rid of the plaster. That little bit there, that should come down quite easily. It doesn't look like they tied it into the wall. So yeah, basically I was expecting sort of romantically to hit it and to have this whole wall kind of fall over. But that wouldn't have been particularly useful for me anyway afterwards to get it down the chute. So need to smash it up. So I'm going to give it another couple of minutes. It's starting to rain quite heavily again, fortunately. I'll see if I can get a little bit more done. And then I think the first thing tomorrow will be get a first load, trailer load, filled and down to town, and then come back up and keep knocking it down. Okay, well, that's going to be it for today. That's pretty spectacular, and it works very well. It goes down the chute perfectly. These bricks, because they're heavy, they just go straight down, which is great. So that was the most important thing, because I've got all the tiles. Once this wall is out, I'm just considering leaving the back wall and just covering the top of it with some tiles to make it look nice, and then maybe paint it. Obviously going to remove the plaster off that wall there, I think. Yes, almost definitely. But it brings much more light into what will now be the future kitchen. I think the back wall would be sort of like it stop the neighbour just looking straight onto our terrace to start with, because she is let me go around here, right there. So that would be one thing. What I really did want to do in the end at some point is build like a pizza oven here, or sort of a barbecue and some smallish outdoor kind of kitchen thing. And that, you know, I could just have the pipe go up the back wall. I don't think that would look bad, actually, to have a back wall, keep the wind out. So not sure, haven't decided yet. I'm going to knock down the rest tomorrow morning, once I've got rid of everything that's here now, because otherwise I'll just have it end up with too much rubble. So it's best to work in stages, and it gives me some breathing time as well, because crikey, it is very tiring. This is what should we call this guy, Henry Hammer or something along those lines. It says on it 4 kilos, so that's not a huge amount. That's only a kilo more than a tile. I guess when you're swinging it high, I think the low bits will be easier, but the high was quite strenuous, really. But still, it came down. I'm really happy, actually. I've been wanting to do that for years, but I didn't trust myself to do it, and now I've done it. I'm a happy man. No more loo outside, but I can live with that. Yep, so now that the water's back on and it doesn't leak, I'm going to go and have a shower and then an aperitif. So I'm still on my way to take my shower. I've been on the phone speaking to the kids, made sure everything's fine, and I caught my breath again. So yeah, that's going to be the end of today's video. I just checked. I think there's probably enough there to keep you guys going until maybe tomorrow or the day after. So yeah, things are going. I do like things that are visible. Obviously, taking the roof off was a pretty easy one too, and then putting the roof on wasn't. So anyway, that's down. I got a lot of it into the trailer. I did a few shovel loads just before I finally knocked off. So yeah, so tomorrow it'll just pick up from where we left off, and keep going. And I think tomorrow the weather's going to be nice as well, which will help. And what I'd like to do tomorrow is have it, or at least by the day after, because on Wednesday evening, today is Monday, on Wednesday evening, the rest of the family are coming down, and it would be nice have the terrace sort of usable, because as the weather picks up, you know, obviously for the kids and stuff, it's nice, and I can then get on with inside, because I won't be mucking around about outside for many months yet. So it makes sense to kind of make it usable again, as it was last summer and the summer before. So there we go, that's the plan, and then I shall show you what the plan is inside afterwards. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for watching the ads. Thanks for buying t-shirts. Thanks for buying me coffee. I know I've gotten worse and worse over the years or months in answering the comments, but I do read all of the comments. But I do read most of them on my phone. There were a fair few questions about the pricing for the roof and stuff. So obviously, yeah, tools were out, and I probably missed out a couple of things, but it was still a bargain, I would think. And it is. This was the good question I had. It's about 4.5 meters by 4.5 meters each side. So it's about almost 40 square meters of roof. So it's not huge, but on a square meter price, yeah, that's about right. And yeah, well, somebody said that the price that was quoted was huge, but then if you look at the scaffold that would have to go up, it has to go from there all the way down to the bottom. So it's quite a lot of scaffold. It's quite a big scaffold, and it has to go around 3 sides of the house. And then there's the materials and everything else. So, you know, with 2 or 3 people working on it, you probably get there. But it would be exponentially cheaper if I had got a company in to do it, to do all of the roofs at once. It would still cost a lot of money, probably. I think the quote that the architect gave me initially when we were looking at getting it done by the government, but that was then earthquake proof, was a little bit over 100,000 euros, which is much more than I paid for the house. So that's, you know, that's probably not very clever. Anyway, I should be getting them on and doing them myself. The guttering wasn't included in the price because I changed the gutter a couple of years ago. So I do need to change that downpipe, but I should be doing that when I do the facade. So there we go. That's sort of the questions that stuck in my head to answer. But until then, do keep sending your questions, and I will keep reading them. And some of them I will answer here, and some of them I will answer online, and some of them I'll just give it a thumbs up. But yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for watching. It's been a great adventure. So take care. I hope you're all well, and bye bye for now.